we are on to day 5's video challenge. Today's video challenge is to create a class reading list centered around some theme if you were a teacher teaching a class on really any subject. So you're also supposed to incorporate a book from your TBR in this to kind of tie it into what you're reading this week. And all I wanted to do was make a class reading list about dragons. But none of the books I'm reading have dragons in them. Do you see my dilemma? I thought through a couple of things and I looked at each book that I was planning to read, like all 10 of the books that I was planning to read this week. I finished 3 of them, so I mean it was a start, but they were the 3 easiest ones to read. So I don't really know what's gonna happen the rest of Booktube-a-thon, but it's fine. I've been enjoying myself. I'm really not in this for the readathon, I'm in this for the videothon, and I'm killing it personally. Like, I don't know if y'all think I'm killing it, but like I'm happy with the results. So that's really all that matters here. So I was looking at all the books, I was like, well, my favorite out of all of these that I've like even started to read is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I am only 150 pages into it, but at page 10, I knew I loved this. I knew this would be one of my favorite books of the year, and I was like, well, how does this book make me feel? And then I was like, this book reminds me of fall. This book reminds me of my favorite season, and it's been raining the past few days, and I know it's July, and I know it's summertime, but I just cannot wait for it to be fall. So that is the inspiration behind my look, and that is the inspiration behind my class reading list. So they are books that remind you of fall. They remind you of a place where like dark and creepy mist could just come in at any time and like magic can happen. And so without further ado, here's my class reading list to give you autumnal vibes. So to start off with my muse for this reading list, The Shadow of the Wind. It follows a young boy named Daniel living in the 1940s and 50s in Barcelona, Spain, right after the Spanish Civil War. His father is a bookseller and he takes him when he's young to the Cemetery of Lost Books and he's allowed to pick one. It's a huge labyrinth, like huge like cathedral-sized building full of books, and he gets to pick one that he gets to treasure and protect its story for the rest of his life. And he chooses a book called The Shadow of the Wind, and he's enveloped in the story. He reads it all in one sitting, but he can't find any other books by that author because somebody is going around and burning all of this author's works, and there's a whole mystery behind what happened to him, when did he leave Barcelona, is he still alive, all sorts of things, and it's just a great mood read. I wish I'd read this before I visited Barcelona because it's gorgeous. I'm imagining being in that city with like mist coming in off the Mediterranean, and I'm just like obsessed in every way. The next book on my reading list is also one of the ones on my TBR, and that is Ash by Melinda Lo. I'm only like 5 or 6 pages into it, but just the idea of the cover of the fairies of like death just like introduced in those first 5 pages remind me of autumn. So I kind of feeling like I'm gonna put this book down because I don't want to like DNF it because I do want to read this book. I just don't know if I'm in the right mood for it now, but it's a perfect like eerie, misty vibe. Only for the cover, I am including The Elite by Kiera Cass because this cover is everything. This is like fall in a snapshot, y'all. That's the only reason this book's on this list. Then this book is here for sentimental reasons because I used to reread this series every single fall. Like once I started school, it just gave me like the perfect vibes, and that is Harry Potter. I'm just choosing the first one because it's like, it's a good start. It's like the perfect like autumnal read. Like the rest kind of get darker, but like this one, it's like, yes bitches, it's fall now. Next we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Rigg. Reading this book makes you feel like you're wearing rain boots full with water, and if like fog has clung to every pore in your skin in the mist and you'll never be dry again, but you're totally cool with it because you're on an island and you're like, yes, this is the feeling I want. Basically, whenever I travel to like England or Ireland, I need to go in the fall. Like that is the experience I need and desire in my life. Also, it totally helps that this book is like black and white and red on the inside, like totally fall colors. Then we have The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. So this is like a vampire retelling with like Dracula, but it actually deals with like the history of Vlad the Impaler. Also, the main like reasoning behind picking a lot of these books is if they would look good on a bookstagram dedicated to fall. So basically, if I'm like, if I could bookstagram this in the fall and have them all go together, would it work? So that's like the main reasoning behind my reading list. The next book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have not read this book yet. All I know is it deals with is all of the characters want aesthetic all the time, and fall is my aesthetic. So that's why whenever I think of like fall, I think of this book, even though I haven't read it yet. But I really hope to soon because I just finally bought it. But it looks so pretty. You're so pretty. Did you know that? The next book is the poetry collection Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. It's filled with gorgeous illustrations and the feelings of how you go through life and how you rebuild. People always think of like spring as rebirth, but I like feel like fall, the time where like everything kind of like starts to die and fall apart, is like the best time for healing. I really like fall. Did you know this? But I feel like this is like the perfect book to like drink with a cup of tea in like a cabin up in the woods with like a black cat like curled up by the fire. Like that is the perfect aesthetic for this book. And the last book on my autumnal reading list is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I would be so remiss if I didn't include a creepy, crawly, dark Leigh Bardugo book in this. I have not read this book yet, but I bought it in fall and it came out in fall and I should read it in the fall. But it's just the perfect feel of vibes. It's so hard to describe moods and feelings. I really should have like written poetry for this, like to explain what I'm talking about here, because I don't know if I'm getting it across. But basically fall's my favorite. So yeah, this is my autumnal class reading list. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and now I just want to read these all fall. Like I don't want to read any other books this fall. A lot of these are rereads for me, but I totally just want to read these in the fall. It's fine. So comment down below if you are a seasonal reader like me and what kind of books you associate with different seasons. It could be summer because it's summer right now, or winter if you're in the southern hemisphere, because I understand that science works differently down there. Please comment down below with like the book you associate with a certain season. And let me know down below if you did this challenge. I'll totally check out your video. And I will see you guys tomorrow with the next video challenge. Bye y'all!